Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? All right, I'm going to make sure I'm recording this, and then I am going to try and share this into a live stream, which I don't think I can. There she is. I'm going to unmute you.
Okay.
There you go. I unmuted you.
Okay.
Don't you look all purty?
Oh, I just came in sans makeup today because I'm going to go live after. So,
what's going on, everyone? How are you? I see Josie. I see Nicole. I see Miranda. I am just trying to live stream this into our group real quick. We got the chat working.
Yeah.
There's Josie. Sorry, one sec. Uno momento. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put this in the replay. I'm going to put this in the replay. I think. No idea. All right, doesn't matter. We are recording this. So we're recording this so everyone can watch the replay, and everyone's going to watch the replay, and I'll make sure I upload this to the team group by tonight. So, Tiffany, thank you so much for coming on here. And Tiffany had an incredible month last month. She sponsored 12, right?
Yep.
Sponsored 12 women that last month, and I believe you were already at 2 this month.
Yeah, and it was funny because I connected to this call and my text box dropped down on my phone and said, "Hey, I just got my kit." So someone just signed up, like literally as we got onto this call. So
So you're at number 3 for the month.
Yeah, that should be 3, and I'm having a conversation with someone tonight for 4, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So
well, that is absolutely amazing. So I asked Tiffany if I know that there's a lot of us, like all of us, that probably the number one thing that everybody struggles with is probably sponsoring. Would you agree? If you agree, say agree in the chat. Let me know if it's Josie is nodding yes. And yeah. I think myself, everyone, like we all do. And I'm not entirely sure why we all struggle with this. I think probably all of our reasons are a little bit different. Nicole says 100%.
Yeah.
I think that they're all kind of different. I think there's some of us who think we don't know what to say. We don't know how to approach people. I don't know. There's I think a combined amount of reasons why fear of rejection, so many. So I would love if you would share what you did last month, how you sponsored 12 people.
Of course. It honestly, I have to go back a couple months prior. So we I very much believe in the law of attraction. I always have, and that's generally how I've run my business in terms of sales as well. But honestly, like back in May, so if anybody doesn't know a little bit about my past, my husband had a double lung transplant a couple of years ago, was doing really, really well. He's still doing well, don't get me wrong. But back in May, he lost about 40% of his lung function again. So we were kind of like, oh, okay, so you're not going back to work. Because he had been working since November, but come May, his lung function dropped like crazy. And so part of me was like, okay, crap, I am going to have to pull up my socks and figure some stuff out, because in all honesty, before that, for me, a lot of it was just the sales side of things, because I was too afraid to ask people if they wanted to join. I would be, let's say, selective and only ask the people that I thought, would probably give me a yes instead of hearing the no, or all that kind of stuff. And honestly, like through everything that we've been through all that Unique has done for me and my family, I sat back and went, God, like, why am I being so stupid? I could be doing this for other people too. Honestly, I could be helping them. And we don't know what people are going through. Not everybody is transparent as I am. I mean, we basically like blast it all over Facebook just because we have family in different countries and all that kind of stuff that are always asking how he's doing. But part of me was like, okay, I don't understand why I'm not offering this to other people. Look what it's done for me. Look what it's done for my family. I'm being selfish right now, basically. And two, I need to build a team. That's where we're at now. I need to build a team. I need to make this my sole income. Well, it won't be my sole income because I'm a makeup artist as well, but it makes a really, 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 really good addition to what I already currently do. And that way, and I've got time. I knew I was going to have time come September because our daughter started JK. So I was like, okay, I'll have time to be the leader that I want to be. I come from a management customer service background. And if I can't put 100% into things, then I don't like doing it. So now that my daughter's in school, I have a few hours, during the day to build a team, support my team. So back in May, I started planting seeds like crazy. I started,
what were you doing? How, if somebody said to you, okay, well, what do those planting seeds look like?
Definitely got into Messenger. Messenger is your best friend for sure. You can post stuff, and I certainly love posting things. I love posting, coming up, I've got a school trip with my daughter and I'm able to go to it because of this company. So those are the kind of things that I love posting, because not everybody gets that opportunity to do that kind of stuff with their kids. So that's all my posting side of things. When I go into Messenger, it is simple, simple, simple. And it's exactly like it's in the units. I took that wording, I sent it out. I made it a little bit more kind of like what I would sound like. So it sounded like me, and I just started messaging like crazy.
Did you message people who you thought would say yes? Or were you like, fuck it, I'm messaging everybody?
You better believe it, because it was do or die at that point for us. So it's, I knew my husband was going to be working. I knew that I was going to be, the sole income in our family, and I didn't care who hated me for it. I was going to message everyone. I didn't care if they answered me. I didn't care if they gave me a thumbs up. I didn't care if they told me to F off. I didn't get any of those, luckily, but I didn't care. I did not care, because I literally sat there every time I went to go message, and I sat in front of my daughter and my husband, and I looked at them and went, this is why I'm doing this. So I didn't care. Didn't care at all.
Good for you. Good for you.
So it took a lot.
So that was your vision. So you literally, like I always say, if somebody comes to me and says, I don't, I'm having trouble doing this, or I can't, I am just, I always say to them, the advice that I always say is, go figure out what your vision is, because your vision isn't strong enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was like for you, like you were like, you figured out your vision. You literally sat your butt in front of those two. And when you probably took out your phone and you're like, oh, here we go. You look at them and you're like, okay, this is why I'm doing it. And it made it a little bit easier.
It really did. I mean, in all fairness, I have no shame. Like I will do whatever. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. I was like,
wait a second. Yeah. So you said that. So why didn't you do that before?
Have no shame at making, not a fool of myself, but like making jokes and being real and all that kind of stuff on Facebook or lives or anything like that. That stuff doesn't bother me. But to send a message to somebody for, I don't know, like I feel like part of me in my head, I'm thinking, well, they're going to think that I want them to change everything that they do.
Okay. Yeah.
Or, I always get the answer back, because I am a makeup artist. People are like, well, I can't do makeup like you can.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get that. Like, I totally get that. But I've also watched people go from knowing literally not even what blush is to being a fabulous, teacher of makeup even after a while. So it doesn't, I had to wrap my head around the fact that I'm going to get those answers, and it's just too bad. And when I'm live or I'm doing makeup applications, I'm comfortable because I'm used to doing that kind of stuff in front of people, and usually face to face in person. That stuff didn't bother me. It was definitely, yes, fear of rejection. But it was definitely people being like, well, I can't do that. Like, giving me every excuse. Right. Yeah. And it's like, if you want to say no, it's okay. Like, just say no, but just say it then. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And how many people did you send an opportunity video to the people that wanted more info?
So this is what I ended up doing in September. So May to August, I was sending that's okay. May to August, I was sending the wording that was in the units for us. And then I was like, okay, I'm not getting anywhere. Like, I'm getting few here and there. I'm getting, yeah, sure, I'll watch the video. Yeah, sure, I have some more questions. And that was really nice. It was definitely a good start for me. But come the end of August, I actually made a video of me, like, literally, I had no makeup on. I had just finished a tap class. I was sweating from top to bottom. Disgusting, like in a dark car. It wasn't pretty at all. And I just started sending it out and out and out and out. I probably sent it that weekend. It was one of the long weekend in August. I think I sent it to over 300 people. Now I spaced it out so I didn't end up in Facebook jail. But I sent it to probably about 300 people that weekend, just that weekend alone.
How long was the video?
Less than a minute. It was really quick.
And what was the video?
It was basically like, hi guys, it's Tiffany here. And at that point I was pushing for the incentive trip. I really, really wanted that incentive trip for my husband and I. We never had a honeymoon after we got married. It would have been our 5-year anniversary. So that was also another huge motivator for me, as well as to push for that. But really in my head, I'm going, okay, we're cutting it kind of close. There's only a month left. But I knew if I didn't start now, that next year I'd be doing it all over again. So if I started now and I made a team and I pushed for it starting now to build that following and that group and that company and teach them all I know and all that kind of stuff, that next year I could at least try to guarantee, I know it's kind of a weird sentence, but try to guarantee, the incentive trip for us to finally go. So it was, hi guys, I don't want a lot of your time. Really, if you have any, makeup questions, if you have any makeup, you need to, replace something in your makeup bag, I'd like you to think of me. If you don't need something, but know someone who might, please think of me. And also if you would like the opportunity to join our awesome team, and or if someone, basically asking for referrals, if someone that would love this opportunity to learn and grow and gain confidence and have something of their own, please think of me. Please send them my way. I'd be happy to answer questions, etc. So it was really quick. It was literally on bended knee. begging, basically, in a professional, not weird way, and just sent it. I didn't care. Like, it just went. I literally like went through a list and just sent like a maniac.
And so what was the result of that?
I got a lot of responses back going, "Oh my God, I'm crying watching this." And I'm like, "Okay, well, that wasn't the purpose. I'm so sorry. I didn't really mean to make you cry. Sorry." But I got a lot of people that were like, you know, we're happy to help. The outpouring of support was unfreaking real. It was unreal, whether it was for, you know, joining the business, or even just having the support of sales as well, and boosting my PRS. It was pretty amazing, actually. I had a lot of cheerleaders.
And so you've sponsored 3 this month.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done to sponsor 3 already, like halfway through the month?
So these, I think, are still growing seeds from last month's option. It's one of them that's already, she's just knocking it out of the park. She's doing an amazing job. She's going live in her VIP page already. Like, that took me a long time to decide to do that. And she was at a end of month conversation in September going like, crap, I need to get, you know, more points towards this trip. So sent her a message, and basically, you know, we had the conversation, and this happens a lot with me, where we'll have the conversation like, I just don't have the funds to buy any makeup right now. I wish I could support you. And I'll say, okay, you know, and I'll leave it at, if you ever want to try and make, you know, a couple $100, because who couldn't use an extra couple $100 a month, let me know, you know where to find me, and be done. Right. And never, I mean, she's been a friend of mine for years and years, like back to like post-secondary days. And never did it ever occur to me that she would ever want to do this. We talk about the business all the time. She's fabulous with makeup. Like, never in my mind went, I probably should ask her. And then I finally did. And then she goes, let's do this. Okay.
So that's a big one right there. Mm-hmm. Is that you never asked her. You never asked her. You never offered it to her. And once you just offered it, she said yes.
Yeah. Didn't even really bat an eye. She's like, yeah, sure. Let's do it. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Awesome.
You know what happens is sometimes what happens is people are actually waiting for you to offer them the opportunity. And when you don't offer them the opportunity, the feedback that I've got from actual people, not through Unique and stuff, is that they sometimes feel that they're not good enough because you didn't ask them.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And, definitely.
And that's obviously not the reason why we don't ask them. We don't ask them because it's something to do with us. We have that fear of rejection or disappointment or anything like that. But on the other side, we have to think about it like them. Like, if, you know, so say you liked makeup, you have no experience whatsoever, but you like it, you like money, you know, and your best friend or a friend is, you know, a good friend, whatever, is doing it and killing it. And you're thinking about it and thinking like, you know, I wouldn't mind. I don't know. Could I do it? Should I do it? Could I do it? And then some of them think, well, how come she hasn't asked me? And it's true. Because that they feel that they just feel like they wouldn't be good in this, or else you would have already asked them. And that's why, and that was like a big like aha moment for me when I actually heard that. And I was like, wow, I never thought of it that way, but it totally makes sense, right?
Yeah. Well, some of them don't even know the lingo to be able to ask. They don't know to say, hi, can I become a presenter and join your team? They don't know how to ask.
Or they don't even know that this is something that they can do.
Sure.
So when I joined, I had no idea that this was a business, that you could do it. I know that somebody sold me the mascara, but I had no idea. The only reason why I even found out was because I did my own research. When I got the mascara, I absolutely loved it. I was like, what is this stuff? And then that's when I asked the girl, like, you know, and then she explained to me, but if I had never, I don't know if she would have ever offered it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that a lot of actual people have no idea that they could sell this or make money from it. They just assume that this is your business, that you've started fucking Burger King. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
your business, you know, like they don't understand that anybody can join and anybody can do this. So I think that we definitely need to get better at kind of sharing that. Like, you know, did you know that, you know? So Nicole just shared and said that she's been shocked by so many people who have joined and that they ended up loving it. And that she asked her sponsor about it. Her sponsor never asked her. And she said, like, can I do this too? Right.
Right. It's true. It's true. You have to understand that, honestly, like, especially when it comes to the law of attraction and being grateful all the time.
So talk about that, how that plays into your business. And do you even think that it has any worth in your business?
I think so.
I think everyone knows how I feel about it. So right. I want to know if somebody feels the same way.
Right. I definitely think so. I think that, you know, we're in a world that what you put out, you get in. I'm very much an advocate for being grateful, you know, with a lot of the things that have happened in my family, like our lives, and sort of the emotional roller coaster that you go through when you go through something extreme in your life. Sometimes you need to remind the people around you as well to be grateful. And so it just becomes part of your everyday life. It becomes your ordinary, your norm. And I feel like a lot of people feed off of that, or they have the ability, you know, if they're having a bad day, it's like, well, you know what, maybe I'll just go have a little quick chat with the person that they know will be positive for them, or will reassure them, or they will help build their confidence. And I feel like being part of a group or a team or a sisterhood where you know you're going to get that out of the people around you really helps draw more people in. So I feel like it's very helpful.
How long have you been with Unique?
It's actually, so are you ready for this? I was a savvy consumer. I had no intention of selling. Bought it just so that I could replenish my pro kit, because I was looking for a great product that was natural, or at least naturally based. And so I bought my kit in June or July of 2017, and then started selling October of 2017. So I'm at 2 years of selling this month.
And did you have you incorporated law of attraction and practicing gratitude from the time that you started, or is this new? I've
always, I don't think I've been mindful of it.
Intention.
Yeah, I don't think I've been mindful of it. I've really, over the last couple of months, have trying to really pay attention to the things around me and the, let's say, the benefits of it, and knowing, you know, that I've put something out, and then realizing that I'm actually getting something back from it. So I'm consciously actually not looking for it, but I'm paying attention to it now over the last couple of months. And it's pretty incredible, actually.
Works, doesn't it?
It's amazing. Yeah.
So would you say that practicing that has had a big impact on your business in the last few months?
I mean, numbers don't lie. So, I mean, sponsoring 12, I've never sponsored that much in my entire life.
What's your highest?
12 is my highest a month.
Sorry.
Was my highest.
Previous to that?
I want to say 2 or 3, maybe a little more when like the kits go on sale and I've got some savvy consumers, but I'm very grateful for savvy consumers as well, because a lot of them have, you know, maintained active presenter status. I have some savvy consumers that are yellow. So
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
definitely benefit to some of them for sure. And like I said, I came from a customer service background. So if I can find a really good way to either keep a customer or offer them a really good deal, I certainly will.
That's awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Tiffany? If you do, type them in the chat or go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead and unmute yourself if you have any questions. Listen, if you have any question, now is the time to ask her, because you're here, you're in a private group, and if you have a question, then somebody else probably has a similar question.
Probably.
Hello?
Hello, is this Devin?
Hi, it is. So my question was, you were talking about your video you did after your tap class, and you said that you got a lot of responses with people that were crying. Did you include that why you were doing this? Like, you talked about your husband and your daughter?
I did. Yep. I definitely talked about my husband for sure, and the fact that we didn't get a honeymoon. And a lot of people, like I said, prior to, talking about that, is that I'm a very open book. So all of our stuff is on like a Facebook page. It's all posted. I share things on my personal page often. So if people follow me as a customer, they typically know at least the Coles Notes version of what's going on in our lives in terms of my husband's health. So a lot of them are very supportive when it comes to showing us love for all that kind of stuff. So I feel like the ones I got responses back from, oh my God, you made me cry. And I mean, a lot of them, let's face it, were women. They were totally hormonal, but that's okay. But a lot of them knew our story and that were a little bit closer to us, that responded that way. But I didn't make it a secret. I told them right off the bat, I literally started the video with, hey, I'm not going to keep you very long. I just want to share my goal with you guys so that maybe you or someone can help us achieve this.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So what, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what do you have a tip for anyone watching this, to help them sponsor, to help them get out of their own way? Messenger
for sure, because Messenger is definitely your best friend. It's the only way to beat some of the Facebook algorithms out there right now.
So them reaching out to people.
Yeah, through Messenger for sure. Yeah. Definitely make it sound like yourself, guys. We don't want to sound like a copy and paste robot. So if they know you personally, they're going to see right through the fact that it's not you messaging them. So make it sound like you for sure. Okay. And three, sorry. It's good. I'm glad I can count. That's great. That's probably why I haven't made it past 3 sponsoring every month. So 3, I would definitely say, what do we talk? Trying to think of a really good third one. I feel like there always should be 3. It's an OCD thing, I think.
Angela has a question that she wants to know, are you now nervous about leading a team?
I don't think so. I haven't really thought about it, so I'm going to say no. I feel like if I was, I would have thought about it or obsessed about it a little bit more. I'm not, like I said, I come from a management background, so I'm used to dealing with 80, 90 people kind of deal. So for me to have like 10, it's really not the end of the world for me yet. Plus I've been in the business for a little bit of time. But I mean, that certainly doesn't change anything. You could be in the business for a month and still be great at it, because you have your resources, right? Like there are so many resources out there for us to use, whether it's, talking to your upline or talking to, your sponsor or checking out those units. Those units are fabulous, by the way, Karen, while I have you on there. They are great. The resources are there, guys. So if you're going to build a team, and hopefully you're not nervous about it, but if you think that you're going to be, just make sure that you talk to your upline and know what resources you have, to be sort of the best leader you can.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be really nervous about leading a team, because all you need to do is just guide them to the resource. That's it. So whether you use Makeup Moguls as a resource, or if you use another team page or something, if you have another Black Uplines page as a resource, all you need to do is just funnel them into a resource. Yeah. That's it. Like, I do the exact same, and I have a large team. I've sponsored quite a few people, and I do the same with every single person. I just lead them to the resource, because if you're doing something completely different, and if you think that you need to lead a team and you need to, one, be a manager, you'll never be successful. It won't happen. Not in this industry. You want to be a manager at, I don't know, Longo's or wherever. You know what I mean? That's where you need to be a manager. But in this industry, if you're doing all of that, people get confused. They don't understand what they're supposed to do, and then they don't do it. So if anyone is nervous about leading a team, don't be. It's kind of like a group. It's kind of like a group. It's like a group training. It's like everybody learns from the same resource. Does that make sense?
You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's all there for you and ready to go. And all they need is a friend to just show them where that wheel is.
That's right. That's it. That's it. Hi, Allison. Okay. So I personally myself have a page of notes, and that was awesome. I think like what I got from you right now was, back in May, you decided, like, you know what, it's all or nothing. There is something that I need to do. My family absolutely needs this. And I think that back then you found your vision, and you were like, this is why I have to do it. So you were, backed yourself into a corner, like yourself, you know what I mean? Like it's do or die. Like, either I do it or I don't. And, I kind of have to do it, since your husband lost 40% of his lung capacity. That's right? Is that the number?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is crazy. And that you got out of your own head, because you only used to approach people who you thought would say yes. And that could be for many different reasons. It could be from fear for rejection or whatever, but you used to. And then when you got past yourself and you asked your friend in September, and she was like, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right? Then that's when you were like, okay, well, that was silly. I need to ask everybody now.
Seriously.
You needed this. You found your vision, and your vision was stronger than any fear or rejection that you thought that you may encounter. Back in May, so May, June, July, August, September. So you had a good 4 or 5 months of planting seeds. Yeah. And that's so important, because you need to plant seeds for months down the road for harvest a crop. Like it's honestly just common sense. So that's why you need to show up every day, and you can't take breaks, and you can't take a month off here, a week off here. You could definitely have a low production week, but when you have a no production week, honestly, people forget about you, right? So you were planting seeds. You got yourself into Messenger. You used the wording in the units tab, and you just messaged everybody. Whether you thought that they were going to say yes or not, you messaged everybody. And the big thing is that when you were doing that, you sat in front of your do you have just one daughter?
Yeah. One and done.
You sat in front of your daughter and your husband. The reason why you had to do this, you sat in front of your vision, which is pretty powerful. Law of attraction is another big thing that you said that, you believe in it. You kind of always believed in being grateful, and you were an advocate for it. But over the last few months is when you really started to intentionally work it and be like, okay, practice it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's had a huge impact over the last few months, probably around May, June, when you started to plant those seeds, because you sponsor 2 to 3 people a month maximum in 2 years. And in September, after you did all of this, you sponsored 12 people.
Yeah.
So it's not a coincidence that you were going for a trip, and that's why you sponsor 12 people. I hope you understand that. Like, nothing ever is a coincidence. You planted those seeds, you grew, you understood your vision, you practiced gratitude, law of attraction, which, if you know me, that is like, I'm a psycho for that, because I know that it actually does work. Yeah. So those are the point forms that I got from your training. And I think that they're pretty powerful.
And I like what you said before too, where I got out of my own head, because it's very true. Any thoughts that you have in your mind of, I can't do this, no one's going to say yes, it's all in here. It's all in there, and you need to get out of your own head and just try.
Whatever you think about will happen, whether it's negative or positive. So if you're sitting there and you're just like, you know, I'm going to message 5 people. I don't know if they're going to say yes or no. Probably not. You just attracted that to yourself. You just attracted that to yourself. So that's where you just have to be like, I'm going to send these 5 messages out. Someone's going to join me. Someone's going to ask for information. I don't know who, but it's going to happen. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether that happens right away, but you putting that out, that intention, is when it's going to come back. And I promise you, one day, if all of you keep practicing that, you'll be blown away of what the hell is just happening. I have to shout out, I don't think she's on here, but she'll probably watch the replay, is Ethel McLean in New Brunswick. She's in New Brunswick, right, Ange? And she started practicing gratitude literally like 2 months ago, started practicing gratitude, started really like reading about law of attraction. And I got to tell you, that girl freaking messages me every single day about something new in PEI. Something new that is happening to her. Like, she's never had, I don't know, 2 sales in 1 week or something like that. And she messages me after we had a chat about do this and do this. And she's like, I've had 4 sales today, like completely just blown her mind. And so now she's practicing that mindset, and stuff is starting to happen to her. And she honestly just can't believe it. I can believe it, because I'm like, of course it's going to happen. Like that's what happens. That's what happens. So I'm really happy to hear that was part of your journey, and that you understand how powerful that really is.
Yeah. So, and it's easier said than done, for sure, guys. We're sitting here telling you to get out of your own head, but you're the only one that can make yourself do that. But it's true. It's practice. So you have to try it. You have to try it before you even are going to see whether it works or not. Give it a shot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if anyone has any other questions, type them in the comments. You got about 30 seconds. If not, then if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and you can ask any questions in the Facebook comments. So I'll put this recording up by tonight into Makeup Moguls. And I think everyone's just saying thank you. And so thank you so much for taking time away from your daughter and your husband and your free time, coming on here and giving some of your time to everyone. And thanks for sharing your tips.
It was my absolute pleasure. Anytime.
Awesome. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. And I'll see you guys for the next team meeting on November 15th. Thanks, Tiff. Bye.
Yeah.